Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And here comes Van Fleet. Throws it ahead to Ibaka. And the flush.
Just make my case, drop spike when I'm done. One more can.
Van Fleet, tough shot. Oh! Kawhi Leonard. Bang! Siakam flips it up and banks it home. Siakam has done it all tonight. The Raptors get the victory here in Game 1.
Let's skip that hop and took these sports and made them pop it. All right. Undisputed.
How about those Raptors? They had a huge win last night in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Chris Broussard is with us now.
Ginny, you can't like steal the Cowboys handle.
Not?
You know, that's what you.
Work?
That's that you have to reserve
I
that,
thought that was
for the
creative.
Cowboys, not for the Raptors.
You didn't like it?
Not for the Raptors.
like what?
Oh,
It's
I didn't
okay.
even think you'd notice.
No offense.
It's
taken.
not even an American team, so
Sorry.
can it be that
So
way
it's
for
okay for
Canada's
Canada.
team?
Okay.
How about those?
Moving
Right.
on,
Canada's
I will
team.
not do that again, Skip. I apologize. Chris Broussard, are
Well, we know
you
they won't be playing in the finals or nothing.
surprised by how easy
You wish.
those Raptors won?
I don't think it was easy. I mean, look, I give the Raptors plenty of credit. I thought they were great. I give them credit for shaking off their Game 1 woes. They lost to Orlando. They lost to Milwaukee in Game 1, so that was impressive. The big stage did not bother them. I mean, all these guys, Van Fleet and Gasol, who had, even though Gasol's a vet, they'd never been on this stage. It clearly wasn't too big for them, so give them credit. They played great. And Siakam, I mean, this guy, here's the thing for Toronto, and they know this. Obviously, they want to keep Kawhi. But if he leaves, they're not going away. Now, they won't be a championship team.
Right.
But they're going to still be a factor there in the East. They're going to be relevant. This guy didn't start playing basketball until, what, 16, 17 years old?
Interesting story.
So, yeah, he could blossom into a future star, and maybe that makes Kawhi think, here's my second guy right here.
Right.
You know, so we'll see. But they were great. But I think Golden State and their rust from the 9 days off, I think there was some complacency, maybe even a little cockiness. I think with Portland, now some people look at the Portland series and say, Portland played great. They had them down 15 in all these games, and they just couldn't close. I looked at it differently. I thought Golden State paced itself. Knowing they don't have KD, knowing their depth situation, they were pacing, knowing that with one or two surges, we can get past Portland.
Right.
And they tried that last night, and it didn't work. And again, I give Toronto credit because that third quarter is usually when Golden State puts on one of those surges, changes the game, and Toronto held serve for the most part, so give them credit. But I thought the complacency and cockiness showed in a few areas. One, they gave up 3 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter to Toronto, which were big. 2, the 17 turnovers. I know they turn it over a lot anyway, but 17 is kind of ridiculous. And then the 24 fast break points. Their transition defense was horrible. And that is just lack of focus for whatever reason. Obviously, Draymond, triple-double, but it was one of those most inefficient. Right.
It's the cheapest you can have.
Yes. And even though it was 10-10-10, but just it wasn't effective. Like, he missed shots at the rim, didn't finish, 2 for 9. Only took 2 threes, but didn't hit them. Defensively, Siakam had his way with him. And Iguodala's huge. I really hope he is not seriously injured. You know, he said he'll be fine, but he also was 0 for 4 from 3. And Iguodala and Draymond are going to have to hit open threes.
Yes.
Because you're searching. I mean, Steph was very good. Clay was okay, 21 points. But where are you going to get the rest of the firepower from if those two aren't doing it, Draymond and Dre?
That's my point. I don't think it was easy, Skip. They just made it look easy, but they snuffed out every run that the Warriors threw at them. And that's what the Warriors do. They normally come out in the third quarter, and they throw that big third quarter on you. They hit you with one of those high 30s, mid-40s third quarter, and then whatever lead you had is gone, and they're now normally in front.
Well, they threw it last night.
With the Warriors.
And Toronto threw back.
But Raps said, nah. Siakam and Okawhi.
Siakam said, nah. Siakam made 6 of 6 shots in the third quarter.
If I'm not mistaken.
2 of 2 free throws in the third
quarter.
Hold on.
If I'm not mistaken, my notes telling me that me and my crack reacher, we stayed up late last night burning the midnight oil.
Really?
Siakam and Kawhi scored 23 of the 29 points in the third quarter. Is that true?
Wait, one guy scored way more than the other guy.
No. I'm just asking
now
you a
you're
question.
trying to combine his with the other guys to make his look better.
I know it is.
He went along for the ride.
I'm just asking a simple question. So,
who scored in the fourth quarter? Help me out. I don't know.
Anyway, let me back to making my point. And Chris, and I was telling Skip this earlier, without that third score, because when they were struggling to shoot 30% in the first quarter, you got a tall guy, got a 7-foot guy. Hey, bro, get down the block, go get us a bucket. Let's quell some of this. They don't have that now.
Boy, his stock is rising fast.
His stock never did.
That's how it works.
Oh, hold on. Kevin Durant's always a blue chip. You already know. You know blue chip stocks.
I think it was falling fast over the last week or so.
No.
Who needs Kevin Durant?
Yeah. They went and got Kevin Durant.
They were playing better without him. They were playing better until last night. And they actually played, to your point, they played pretty well last night.
Skip, I just think they're different without Kevin Durant. But in a 7-game series, if that rascal is healthy, he makes them unbeatable.
Okay.
Because with the way they were struggling last night, even if you got 17 turnovers, you got that guy, he still go get you 30 with 17 turnovers. So that's the difference. The question is, Steve Kerr is running out of bodies. Who's going to give him Iguodala minutes? Who's going to give him Kevin Durant scoring? That's the question. If Kevin Durant comes back, say, game 3, I believe he comes back game 4 at the earliest. But that might get bumped up to game 3 if they're down 0-2.
It well might. I'm going to say this again. Last night was not a fair fight for the visiting team. I said the Raptors would win because Golden State had too many days off and got thrown into a fire against a team that is far superior defensively to either Portland or Houston, especially to Portland. Portland might have been the worst defensive team in the playoffs, and Toronto is definitely the best team defensively in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Golden State, to your point, got shell-shocked. They got blindsided, like, what? And all the reporters on site last night said the atmosphere what was the greatest they'd ever experienced. The excitement level, the intensity level inside that arena was just ear-splitting and mind-numbing. Right. And I think Golden State wasn't quite ready for that onslaught. And to your point, everybody played up on Toronto to it. Nobody played down, except maybe number 2.
No, don't do that.
Stop. He didn't have his normal game, but I thought he was good, though.
But I thought he was hurt, too. And he played through that.
We got the hurt excuse going already.
Skip, you saw the man, Chris.
It's all you got. It's all you got.
Here, what all the, like, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, all those ex-players, they said when you're dealing with tendinitis, sometimes you can just come down and out of nowhere, oh, wow. And you kind of can shake it off and all that eventually, but it's there. It reminds you that it's there.
By the way, I want to declare early, Dak Prescott has tendinitis in his knee. I want everybody to know, so if he has a bad game next year, I got him. He's got tendinitis. In fact, it's in both knees and both ankles. He's got tendinitis.
Quarterback.
Just for the record, so if he has a bad game, I got 4 excuses. Is that fair?
First of all,
I just want to declare that.
First of all, quarterbacks can play with tendinitis because they're not running backs is going to be a problem. Wide receivers would be a problem.
My quarterback runs the football. He made the run of the year.
Well, he won't be running in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So he won't be like Kawhi in the finals. He won't be running in there.
You better hope not.
No.
So now to my big 2 takeaways from last night. Bigger picture. I'm here to say once again, as I keep saying for the last month, number 2 sure has a lot of help. I don't think it's all his show because last night Siakam was just flat out special is what he was. And it made me wonder, it gave me some cause to pause and ask myself and ask out loud on Twitter, are we sure that number 2 is the best player on the Toronto roster? Because I'm not this guy is something.
You want
when he gets going? Yes, I do. And last night,
a little premature.
He looked like the best 2-way player on the floor because he can block shots too. He can rim protect. But what a game he had against the guy who just the day before said Draymond, was the greatest defensive player in history. And Siakam goes out against him, little known, Pascal Siakam, and he goes 14 of 17, and he makes 2 of 3 threes, and he made 9 of 12 contested shots. So it's not like he's not being defended, and he makes 5 of 5 on breaks. So he's just running them in the floor last night, and he makes 11 straight shots, which was the longest streak in a finals game in 20 years. That's pretty good, right?
That's very
He was
good.
awesome. He was
He's
awesome.
only 25 years of age, and just so the people may not know about him, he's 6'9", 230. The other guy, number 2, is 6'7", 230. So he's got some stature on him. And just for the record, just for those who lost touch with Toronto this year, number 43, who's Pascal Siakam, he had, 12 in regular, 5 posts. So 17 games of 25 or more he scored this year. So this is not foreign to him. This wasn't some one-night wonder for Siakam.
Yeah.
He can do this.
You don't expect this consistently.
I don't expect.
Even close to that.
I don't know.
Because he's been kind of up